What's up everybody? Shane here, and I have another budget deck profile for you. This time it is Lilith from Darkstalkers. This character is super fun. She's basically a character who gets stronger as the game goes on, like as her turn continues. You basically give all your attacks like plus 5 speed, plus 5 damage, plus 6 speed, plus 6 damage, and so on. So it's very fun to play, and it's only like a $25 deck, so it's worth checking out. Let's get right into it. Alright, let's take a look at the character. So her enhance ability, you check a 5, and then your printed 3 damage attack gets plus 1 speed and plus 1 damage for every card in your card pool. So if you have 5 cards in your card pool, you get plus 5 speed and plus 5 damage just for checking a 5. So it's pretty nasty. This ability is also playable while committed, so even if you commit her to pass a check, you can still use that enhance, check a 5, and get massive speed and massive damage. So there's that. Now she says your printed 3 damage attack get speed and damage. Every attack in this deck has a printed damage of 3, so this ability works on every attack in the deck. She also has a response ability that's very important for surviving. So you commit her and commit a foundation after your opponent plays an attack, and then you seal their attack. So what that does is you take all abilities off of that attack. So keyword abilities, they're gone. Like text abilities, like enhances or responses, they're gone. So it's really nice because she has a survival ability where like their opponent plays an attack that they really want to enhance on and do a bunch of stuff on the attack. You're just like, nah, I'll just seal it. So it's really good. Like she's really good going second too, because the opponent builds first, then you go second, you build, and then when your opponent attacks you, she just seals. So it's really hard to kill her because she just turns off one of your opponent's attacks every turn. So she's a really strong character, and this deck's pretty sweet. So let's get into the attacks. Now, the best enabler attack is Mei Guei Hua. So while this card is in your card pool, your other attacks with a printed damage of 3, which is everything, they get plus 1 speed and plus 1 damage, just for having this card sit in your card pool. So like if you have 2 of these in your card pool and you play another attack, that attack is gonna get plus 2 speed and plus 2 damage for free, just for having these in your card pool. Now, the busted thing about this attack is that the enhance ability, like you play this, then you enhance with it, you add 1 copy of Mei Guei Hua from your discard pile into your card pool. So like these are in your discard pile, you have this out, you play this, you enhance, you just bring this in. Now this is gonna have plus 1 speed and plus 1 damage because this is in here. Then you can check a 5 at Lilith and get plus 2 speed, plus 2. So it's 6 speed, mid zone for 6 damage, just like 1 attack, like your opening attack. So yeah, this card's really good. It's best to open with this card because you bring in other copies and then you play other attacks and they get the static bonuses from Mei Guei Hua. So yeah, this is like kind of the best attack in the deck because it just sets up everything else. Now another attack, Surprise Soul Flash. This is really good. When this is in your card pool, your printed 3 damage attacks get plus 1 damage. Now this includes itself because it doesn't say your other printed 3 damage attacks. So like even if you just lead with this, it comes in at plus 1 damage because this card is in your card pool. So like if you have Mei Guei Hua, bring in Mei Guei Hua, play a Surprise Soul Flash, then boom, like this is plus 2 speed and plus 3 damage. So as you can see, it scales. You haven't even checked a 5 for Lilith yet to get plus 3 speed, plus 3 damage. So just by looking at these attacks here, you can just see how explosive this deck can be. So yeah, there's other abilities on this card, like Powerful 2 is pretty relevant. Like you pitch momentum and just increase the damage of this. Like it does matter in some situations. You can also, like when this is in your card pool, you can discard a momentum to seal your opponent's block. So if they have like Breaker, like a Breaker 2 ability or something, like you can just seal it before they activate the Breaker. So this card's really good too. Now, Swallow Your Soul. This is like a finishing attack because the combo ability, it gets plus 1 damage for each card in your card pool. So like you use, well, first off it's combo 3 damage and everything's a 3 damage. So you combo off of anything in the deck. You also like have Lilith, right? So let's say you have like 5 cards in your card pool and then you have this. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you combo, give it plus 6 damage, and then you check a 5, give it plus 6 speed, plus 6 damage. So now it's like a 15 damage throw with 11 speed. So like it's just nasty. It's like this is probably the attack you're gonna kill people the most with, but you kill people with anything in this deck because you just check a 5 and any attack gets massive speed and massive damage. So yeah, that's another card, Swallow Your Soul. Lower Great Wall. This card's nice. So again, combo 3 damage, everything's 3 damage. This combo enhance, you give this attack 3 damage. So it's like a 6 damage attack on its own. That's not including Lilith or any of the other enhances in here. This also has stun too, which is really important. When you stun them, you commit their foundations, and then that's less foundations they have to pass their checks to block. Like if pumping speed was not strong enough, you just stun them, you know? Oh, I should also mention Mei Guei Hua also has stun 1 as well, so there's quite a bit of stun in this deck just to cut down the opponent's resources and push your attacks through, so they're basically unblockable. So yeah, that's another card in the deck. Alright, now we have Liu Kang's Fireball. So this is a combo attack, so again, this combos off of any attack in the deck, just like every other combo attack that is in this deck. So this combo enhance, your opponent adds the top card of their deck to their card pool face down. So that clogs their card pool, so it makes it harder for them to block. So like again, if adding massive speed wasn't enough, then you're just clogging their pool, making it really harder for them to block. So you're stunning them, you're putting speed on your attacks, and then you're clogging their card pool. So that's nuts. Now, the enhance here, where you add the top card of your discard pile to the top of your deck, that's important because you always want to stack 5s with this ability, so you can just like guarantee the check for Lilith. So like, or if you've already checked with Lilith and you check the 5, you just use this ability to put that 5 back on top, then you just play another attack and check that 5, and then you just kill them. So this is really good in the deck as well. Now we have 2 other attacks. Precise Blow. You can kill people with this, but this is mainly defense. So when you block with this card, your opponent, well, first off, you seal your opponent's attack, and then your opponent adds the top card of their deck into their card pool. So when they're attacking you and you block with this, you get to stuff a card in their card pool face down, and like most of the time that ends their turn because they got +1 more progressive difficulty. It breaks up combos because like if they play an attack and they have a combo attack in their hand and you stuff their pool with the face down, they no longer, like here, for example, I'll just show you this. You have this, and then like you have this to combo. If they block Precise Blow, they stuff a card face down. Now they can't combo because the card immediately preceding it doesn't have the combo requirements. So this breaks up combos and stuff. So it's a really good defensive card, but again, 3 damage attack, you can just kill people with this card. Now, it is worth noting that in this deck, there's quite a bit of safe attacks. So Lower Great Wall has safe, Mei Guei Hua has safe, and Swallow Your Soul has safe as well. So what safe means is that your opponent cannot play reversals to these attacks. So like if they can block these attacks, but they can't reversal. So like you're kind of immune to reversals because 12 of your 22 attacks have safe. And then if that wasn't enough, all your attacks have just gigantic speed. So like if they block, they're tapping their whole board anyways. So yeah, that's just worth noting. So that is the attack lineup. It looks weak because every attack has 3 damage, but like, you know, as we just said, Lilith can just give insane speed and damage. So she's pumping all the attacks. Speed so they can't block, damage so it hits them hard. You also have this combo for +3 damage. You have combo plus damage for all these cards in your card pool. Not to mention, as we talked about earlier, Mei Guei Hua, which is +1 speed and +1 damage while this is in your card pool. So like, even if you just have one of these in your card pool, every attack that comes after is gonna just get these bonuses for free just because this card sits in your card pool. So yeah, the numbers add up really quick, and after I show you the foundations, I can show you like a gameplay footage and just show you how big the numbers can get. All right, now let's talk about the foundations. So perhaps your best foundation is Fusion Refusal. So this is a spam, 1 difficulty, and this ability is playable while committed. So like even if it's committed, you can use the ability. You add it to your card pool and you give the attack +2 damage or -2 damage. So like on your attacks, you obviously give them +2 damage. Now this has a line of text that says if this card was not played as a form, then it doesn't count towards progressive difficulty. So like if you didn't play this card like as a foundation on your turn during the combat phase, like out of your hand, like if you block with this, it doesn't count towards progressive. If you bring it up, it doesn't count towards progressive. If you like bring it in from the discard pile somehow, it doesn't count towards progressive. So like this card, you like commit it to pass a check, or you commit it for an ability or something, then you enhance with it to bring it up to your card pool. Now you have another card in your card pool for Lilith, and it doesn't count towards progressive. So like this card just sits in your card pool and you don't count it when you're like trying to calculate the difficulty to pass your attacks. So it just sits in your card pool. It's free speed, free damage because of Lilith's ability. Yeah, it just kind of chills out and just helps you win. So yeah, Fusion Refusal, super good in the deck. Reborn Human. This is another card that does not count towards progressive difficulty to play attacks. So like you can just have these in your hand and you can just play these like 1, 2, and then you like play an attack. and like these don't count. So you just need to check a 4 for this, and it's more cards in your card pool. So when you check a 5 with Lilith, you're gonna get free speed and free damage just because these cards are just chilling in your card pool. And you can respond with this when this is in your card pool. After an attack deals damage, you get to gain a life. So like when you are just hitting them with attacks, you can just gain life. If they don't die somehow, you're just gaining life so you don't die. Or another thing that's cool with this card is that you can block with it, and then if you take damage, like say you like half block an attack, it's like 6 damage, you block, you take 3, you respond to gain 1. So this is good defense as well. You can just hold this in your hand, block with it, and then you basically every time you take damage you get to gain a life. So it just helps you live either way. But the main purpose we play this is to play it in our card pool, so it's extra cards that do not count towards progressive, so you can just reap the benefits that Lilith offers whenever you check a 5. So yeah, Reborn Human is pretty staple in this kind of deck. Malfestation, this is really good. So after this card is committed due to a stun ability or to pay the cost of your ability, your opponent has to commit a foundation. So many ways we can use this. Main one is Lilith. So if you check a 5 with her ability and you check a 3, you can like commit these and force your opponent to commit cards, foundations in their staging area. So that's pretty good. But normally what happens is that you have like one of these in your staging area and she's out here. Your opponent attacks you, so you commit her and then you commit for her response. You seal their attack and your opponent has to commit a foundation. So like you're blanking their attack and then making them tap a resource. So it's really good. Also, it's worth noting that like let's say you have 2 of these out, right? And it's during the enhanced step on your opponent's attack. You can just check a 5 just because you can pay the cost of the ability. The effect will not like happen because there's no, your attack isn't being played, but you can still enhance with this on your opponent's attack. If you check a 3, you can just commit these 2, and then your opponent commits 2 foundations just because they attacked you and you checked a 3 on your 5, even though it didn't matter. So yeah, this is really good. There's also other foundations in the deck that can commit cards, like commit 1 foundation, your attack gets +2 damage. So you can commit this, give your attack 2 damage, and they have to commit a card. Or if they stun you, they can just like stun 2. Okay, commit 2 foundations, thanks. Like, so it's really good. It's also a 6 check. So like if you ever check this and then with like a Liu Kang's Fireball, you just put this on top of your deck and just check a 6 again. So kind of nice. So yeah, Malfestation, really good. All right, we got 4 copies of Dreaming of Becoming Whole. So this card here is just really good for aggressive decks. You commit these to pass checks, and then whenever you discard a momentum, you just get to ready these. So like it's just really good. It's like cards like Hell's Reach or Azure Nightmare. It's just a spam, a 0 difficulty that commits, and then it gets to ready itself. It does everything you want because like you're checking 5s and sometimes you check 3s and you have to commit 2 cards. So you're like, okay, commit these 2 foundations, then I'll discard momentum, ready them. So like I just got stats for free basically. So yeah, really good in the deck. All right, then we got 4 copies of Ridding the World of Outsiders. This card's really strong. So you commit this and your next attack gets +2 speed and +2 damage. Then you can flip this card, and then your current attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage. So like this card gives speed and damage, and then Lilith gives speed and damage. So like this does everything you want to do. But there is a nice little combo with this card. We play 4 Maternal Swordsmanship. So this card, you flip it, and then you get to ready 1 foundation that hasn't been ready this combat phase. And then your attack gets +2 speed or +2 damage. So what happens is that like you commit this, your next attack gets +2 speed and +2 damage. You flip this, you ready this, then you give your attack +2 speed or +2 damage. You won't be able to use like the same copy that turn or that attack because you already used it. But on the next attack, you can just do it. So like you just keep on using these, and then your attacks just get stronger and stronger. Get free speed, free damage, and then free speed, free damage. It's just really strong. It's incredible how crazy that this deck is, and it's only like 25 bucks. All right, now we got 4 Freeing the Relics. This is a card I kind of mentioned earlier. You commit a foundation, and then your attack gets +2 damage. So what happens, there's a couple ways you can do this. As I said with the Malfestation, you can commit this, your opponent commits a foundation, your attack gets +2 damage, that's kind of nice. Or another cool thing you can do is with Fusion Refusal, you can commit, your attack gets +2 damage, then use this enhance, bring this up to your card pool, then your attack gets +2 damage. So like you're just maximizing value with these cards. Another cool thing with this card is that you destroy it, and then this attack gets -1 speed for each card in your opponent's card pool. So like when your opponent is attacking you, you got like 3 attacks out or whatever, you can just pop this, playable while committed, so like you can commit this to pass a check, and then you pop this, and then your opponent's attack gets minus speed, so it's easier for you to block. So it's good speed reduction in the deck. Speaking of speed reduction, we have 2 copies of his gift of Immortal Blood. So this one here, you toss some momentum away, and then this attack gets minus 5 speed. It's only playable if your opponent has at least 1 momentum, but like usually they're attacking you, and then they're going to get momentum because stuff's dealing damage, because just like that's how aggressive some decks can be. So like you can just pitch a momentum and then give minus 5 speed so you can block their attack. Or if they don't have momentum, you can just commit this to feed them a momentum. You want to watch out though, make sure they don't have like EX powerful or any way to dump it, and then you can pitch the momentum you have, minus 5 speed their attack, and then just like block their attack and live. So yeah, it's another card that's playable while it is committed, so pretty nice. Alright, we have 2 copies of Pure Heart. The reason you need to play this card is because that first enhance, you commit it, this, and then you choose one of your opponent's assets or foundations, and then they can't play abilities on that card until after your attack resolves. So like 2 big things, like off the top of my head, that kill you are like Refusing to Let Go and Bakery Poster Girl. Those are like 2 cards that like it resets your speed to 0 or resets your damage to printed, like things like that. So like if your opponent has these cards out, you can just like target that card. They can't play abilities on that foundation, and then you can just use Lilith, then give your speed and damage, and then they don't have that foundation to knock down your speed or knock down your damage. So like this is really good because it prevents your opponent's answers to your attacks. Speaking about that, there's also Damnation, which also cancels an enhanced ability on a foundation. So again, cards like Refusing to Let Go or Bakery Poster Girl, things like that that just like will mess with your stats, like these cards can just take care of. 2 Ageless and Wise. So this card prevents your board from being touched. So you have important foundations. So if they play like a Forbidden Moon set or like Red Dragon Assassin, like things that touch your board that will like get your pieces off the board, this card stops. So it's also a spam, 1 difficulty, a nice block. It's just good to have. Now we got 2 Despise All Evil. This card is sneaky good. This is like such a good card. So this is additional stun for the opponent. Like, so as we talked about earlier, right, we have Lower Great Wall with stun 2, this is Mei Guei Hua with stun 1. So like you're stunning them out. This card can make them commit more foundations. So like, you know, this card you blow up a committed foundation, which you're going to have when you're going in. You're going to be committing a lot of cards just to go in and do a lot of damage. So you just pop those committed cards and your opponent has to commit a card in their staging area. So they're committing their foundations, but check this out. If they're out of like foundations, they have to start committing like their assets. If they have no assets and they have no foundations to commit, they have to commit their character card. So like this is super good. And then the enhance, you destroy it, and then control checks can't be modified for the rest of this turn. So there's so many cards, especially off of the evil symbol, that hack your checks. So like Akuma, for example, hacks your checks. Vega hacks your checks. There's also like foundations like Most Trusted Assassin. There's Maze Castle, for example. Like there's some stuff that makes it harder for you to pass checks, and this card is like, I destroy, you can't touch my checks for the rest of the turn. So yeah, this card's really good. It can pin your opponent down, stop your opponent from like messing with your checks. It's just a solid card. Then the final card we have is 1 Castaway and Forgotten as additional seal. So like you have Lilith every turn to seal an attack, but sometimes you just want that second card just to seal 2 attacks in that turn, just so you can live and then kill him on the backswing. So this is another card that you basically double down on the seal ability. So yeah, that is the entire deck. So let me get into a gameplay video just to kind of show you the deck. I'll just solitaire the deck for you guys and just show you how it's done. All right, so with this deck, I think the way to get the most consistent results is if you build for 2 turns and then you attack on turn 3. I think that's the best way, because it's very easy to kill them in 1 turn once you're established, because your attacks just scale as they go on. So yeah, let's give this a shuffle. I'm not going to roll a die. It really doesn't matter if you go first or second, like with this deck. Like if you go first, you get to build your foundations out, great. If you go second, Lilith is ready, and you can seal their attack. So like, it's really hard to kill Lilith, because when she's ready, she gets to seal your attack, like the correct attack, and then your deck just doesn't get to do its cool thing. So like I said, we're just going to build for 2 turns, and then attack. So yeah, that boom. This is going to be on a 3. This is going to be on a 3. on a 3, and on a 5. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so we built 5. So then, yeah, like I said, like if you go second, you can just seal one of their attacks. You have a high block. But yeah, we're just gonna build for 2 turns. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, we're gonna build these. So this, and this is on a 4, 3, 4. Let's commit that one. All right, so now we've built. So then, like, they're probably gonna attack us, but like we have blocks of every zone and Lilith. So like, let's just say we have to block, like, well, first of all, knowing what to seal is really important. So like, let's just say like they're combo deck and they're leading up to a combo, so we'd have to block. So let's just like block like a Nutcracker, missile launcher, whatever. I need to check a 5, check to 6, busted. Then we can seal with Lilith. And then usually the sealed attack, like sometimes it can get big, but a lot of times since you take the abilities off of it, it's kind of like whatever, it's like 6 damage or whatever. You can just take the 6 damage. Opponent might back off then. Like you have damage reduction with Fusion Refusal, you also have speed reduction with this. So like, I don't know, let's just go to the next turn. So we're gonna draw. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna play this on a 4. Check a 5, nice. All right, so we're gonna use the Mei Guei Hua enhance. We're going to, I think we checked one of these. Oh, we checked 2 earlier. So we're gonna add that to our card pool. So what's gonna happen is that this is gonna get +1 speed and +1 damage because this is now in our card pool. All right, so now we can do a couple things. Let's just check a 5 for Lilith. We can pass that or we can fail it. Let me look at my hand. You know what? I'm gonna pass that, give it +2 speed, +2 damage. Now we're gonna add these Fusion Refusals into our card pool for 2 damage, and then 2 more damage. So let's see here, this is a bunch of stuff. Then we can, yeah, we wanna push this through. So let's go, use Ring the World of Outsiders. Our next attack is gonna get +2 speed and +2 damage. Then we can use Maternal Swordsmanship, give this +2 speed and ready this. Sick, okay, so this is gonna be 8 speed for, how much damage is this? 10 damage, 8 speed for 10. Here's the issue with Lilith, like her attacks, as they keep going on, the speed gets super big. So it's like they have to block this, because if they don't block this, they're not blocking anything else. You know what I mean? Like Lilith just, like, as she keeps playing cards, she just gets strong. Let's just say they block it. So 8 speed, they have to block, they magically block that. If they didn't block, well then, like, they're definitely dead, but let's just assume that they block. All right, so now I play Surprise Soul Flash, 3, 4, 5, need to check a 5. Okay, busted. So this is gonna come in at +2/+2 because of ridding. These are gonna give it +2/+2. And this is gonna give it a damage. So immediately off the bat, we're at 7 speed, low zone for 8 damage. Absolutely insane. So what can we do here? Quite a bit. So like first we're gonna check for Lilith. Check to 5, so +5 speed, +5 damage. Gosh, so this deck's so stupid. All right, so this is, how much is this now? 11 for 13. So we can use this for plus. So like, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we can use this for +2 speed, +2 damage to our next attack. Then we flip this for 1 speed and 1 damage. Then we can pop it with Despise All Evil to make him commit a foundation. But the thing is, I don't think they're gonna block for the rest of the turn because our speed's too high. So we don't need to make them commit. So I don't even think we commit this because we want to pass our checks just in case we check super bad. So yeah, how much was this? This was 13, so they're taking 13. Sick. Now we play another one, 3, 4, 5, 6. Need to check a 6. 5, 6. This comes in at +2/+2 because we have 2 Mei Guei Huas. And then these +1 damage, +1 damage. So instantly off the bat, we are at, what is this? 5 low for 7. So what we're gonna do now is check a 5 for Lilith. 3, 4, and 5. Give it +6 speed, +6 damage. Jesus Christ. This deck is dumb. All right, so there is that. So now it's at 11 speed for 13 damage. We can just pop one for Despise All Evil, make them commit a card. Like, unless they have Sense of Morals out, but like we're just gonna assume that this is just going to hit them for another 13. So they've already taken 26. So now 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is going to come in +2 speed, +2 damage, then +2 from these. So we can stun 2. Then we can combo to give it 3 damage. Yeah, we stun 2. We made him commit for Despise All Evil. There's no way they are blocking. So we can just flip this for 1 speed, 1 damage. This. Oh, we haven't even used Lilith yet. Check a 5. Okay, that fails. If that passed though, +7 speed, +7 damage. But 7 mid for, what is this? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they take 11, so that's 37 damage right there. They stun 2, commit 1. Yeah, dude, like, boom, 37. Like, that's pretty much how the deck works. Like, you just flood your card pool. Like we said, this, the Mei Guei Hua brings in the Mei Guei Hua, and that just sets up everything. We had 2 suppressed soul flashes, which is great because these are 3 difficulty, and we just kill him with the last attack. So that's like an average turn. So yeah. Dude, it would have been crazy if we would have had Swallow Your Soul, because this gets plus. Dude, imagine this. What do we have in our card pool? We have this. Let's just say we had this. All right, so +2, and +2, then +2 here. So then you combo for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, and then you check a 5 for +7, +7. 21 damage. This is just nasty. Alright, whatever. Alright everybody, that is the budget Lilith deck. So as you saw, it's just explosive. Like you start with 1 attack and you build up cards in your card pool and you're just like, alright, +6 speed, +6 damage. +7 speed, +7 damage. So like, it's really fun building up gigantic stats and just sending them at the opponent. So I recommend giving it a shot because it's really fun to play. Now, I want to give a special shout out to the UFS Scotland group. One of their guys, it was really funny because I had a Lilith deck drafted up and then he sent me this. He's like, hey, we were inspired by your budget list and I built this deck. And I was like, this looks a lot like the Lilith deck that I built. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to link their video because one of their guys actually played it in a match. So if you're interested in seeing like a full match with the budget Lilith deck, it's basically the same thing. There's like 4 or 5 cards that are different. Like the core of the deck is very similar. So if you want to see a full match with the deck, I'm gonna put a link to their video where they actually filmed the whole match. It's like an hour long. So if you want to watch it, go ahead and click that link in the description. So once again, shout out to the UFS Scotland group. Dude, I think the only rare in this deck is Castaway and Forgotten. Everything's common and uncommon. This is the only rare, Castaway and Forgotten. That's the only shiny card in this deck. I can't imagine this deck being any more than like $25. I can't see. This is like a super cheap deck. This deck's so good for how cheap it is. Oh man. Anyways, I'm gonna go on legendarywolfgames.com and go to the shopping cart, add all the cards in, put it up on the screen. You can see how much it is. And oh yeah, once again, this video is sponsored by legendarywolfgames.com. Get all of your UFS cards and other TCG singles at legendarywolfgames.com. .com.